Hey YouTube, it's the Audio Olympian back with another video coming to you from the Coliseum. Okay, today's battleground video is going to be a subwoofer comparison video. One of my favorite things to talk about are subwoofers. I'm going to be slightly comparing the Monolith 10 and the Goldenear Forcefield 4. But before we get into that video, I want to welcome everybody for stopping by my channel. If this is your first time, we'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. That really helps to support our growth of our channel. And if you find this video interesting or informative, if maybe you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channel, we'd really appreciate that support. Also, don't forget we have our super thanks button on the videos where you can hit that button and drop a small little tip in there. We'd appreciate that support. Please do if you feel that this video has brought any value to you. Okay, so here's the part we're going to be talking about the subwoofer. But I really wanted to have a good opening reason on why I did this video here. Either one of these subwoofers are brand new, and in fact, Monolith has a new version, a new line of subwoofers that they just brought out, which I'm a little interested in. I may be looking into those. Along with that, Goldenear has now just dropped some updated versions of their Forcefield 3 and their Forcefield 4. I believe they are FF30 and FF40 is the names of them. I'm not too sure. I may pick one of those up. I may not. They actually look really cool. They did do a nice redesign. Kind of has a slight Paradigm subwoofer, SVS subwoofer architect look to it, and I really like that. And it was time probably for a facelift on those. Okay, so one of my main reasons that I wanted to do a comparison on these two subwoofers was the sheer size of the Monolith speaker. So I'm going to show you some pictures here, side by side clips, really quick images, so you can get a kind of a inside depth look at the size of the Monolith speaker here. So you can see they're right here, side by side. I just got a few shots. I even did this comparison in my bedroom area because I wanted to do in a little bit of a smaller room that has all four walls, very little room treatment in there, but completely enclosed room, and that's where my bedroom is. Now, just to cover a few little specs, I'll go over these again a little bit later, but the Goldenear Forcefield 4 is rated at 1200 watts, and the Monolith 10 is rated at 500 watts. So I was very curious. They're both 10-inch cones, both 10-inch drivers. I was very curious to see if that subwoofer, if the Monolith could come close to holding its own against a 1200 watt sub, being that it is a much bigger design and cabinet. And that speaker is heavy. I did a small review or overview of this speaker a while back. I'll also put that down in the description if you want to go and check that video out. But that speaker is heavy. It is very dense and solid, and it's got a lot of cool features in it. I go over some more of those in the other video. I'm actually going to use my hertz testing disc to kind of get an idea of how low the sound is going to go. Some that have lower watts can still have higher output. Some that have higher watts still don't have as much as a low tone of LFE sound that goes to it. Getting the hertz down low. Now, also getting the hertz down low, I've come to realize in some of my other videos as well, I might have a sub that can drop down to, let's say, 20 hertz. My PB16 certainly can get down at my measuring system to at least 23 hertz, possibly even lower. However, at that low level of hertz, you don't really feel much. You hear it and you can sense it. I like to be able to feel some impact and push and pull in my subwoofers. So let's go ahead and check out these videos, and I hope you like it, and I'll be back here to give you some final thoughts in a minute. This one here, I wanted to compare size. Can a bigger cabinet still help produce dB and good bass sound compared to having more watts in the amplifier? So to cover a few quick specs here, you guys. The Monolith is a ported design rated at 500 watts. And the Goldenear Forcefield 4 is a sealed design rated at 1200 watts. However, it does have a passive radiator. And a passive radiator acts kind of somewhat like a speaker, but basically what it does, and it's underneath, I don't think I can get a shot of it under there. Oh, you can kind of see it a little bit. It allows more air to flow through the cabinet, so creating a lot more flow and air movement, which will give you more bass sound in a smaller cabinet design. I really like the Monolith, and for a home theater sub at 500 watts, this thing pounds. Now it is very, very big and heavy, which is why I'm doing this here. Quick, unsophisticated comparison in my bedroom, because I really didn't feel like lugging that all the way down to the theater or my listening room. So being that I've been in a bass mood lately, I'm just going to use through my Apple TV here. Oh, where is that? My music. And the Bass Mechanic Boom Style testing CD. Well, it's actually a digital download. I've been trying to find the CD because I think a CD would give me a little bit more accurate sound mix, but this is good enough for now. So let's go ahead and test it down to, we'll start with the 19 hertz and see how that goes. Okay, so we're going to test this out here. We're going to start that at 19 hertz and work our way up just to see how it sounds. I don't have the mic in, so you probably can tell it's a little bit different sound because I don't want it to clip on the sounds. Again, this is not for superior sound quality, just a demo to see how good this produces bass. 19 hertz. 20. 21. 22, 23, 24, starting to shake stuff in the room. 25, that's always a good sign, right? Shaking things in the room. Now we're going to jump way up to about 55 hertz. So it's nice to know that this sub can dig deep there, down to that 35 and under hertz range, so you're still getting some sound and some impact there. Because I really appreciate that like that, because bass to me changes the whole dynamic of a sound system and the setup of it as well, because that just adds that third dimension in a two-dimension sound stage, and it really brings everything alive. So let's try this 55 hertz and we'll go up to 60. 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So on the testing there, I find that interesting. There wasn't a whole lot of heavy, thick, deep bass on the testing for those hertz there, even when I got up to the higher hertz. So let's check out a movie. So we'll check out a scene here really quick from Lord of the Rings, one of my favorite scenes of the movie that is really, really bass heavy. Okay, pretty good, but still not very thunderous. So I'm anxious to see how the Forcefield 4 is going to measure up. Now, I will say this, where I had my Monolith sub previously downstairs in my living room setup before I switched out to my Forcefield 4, that thing used to really rock the walls down there, and it didn't really seem to do much up here in the bedroom area. So I'm not sure if it's my settings or something. I mean, it could be, but we'll check out the Forcefield 4 here. So we have it swapped out, and I have the volume setting at the same spot for both of the subs there. It's about 3/4 of the way. So let's try the 19 hertz up to the 25, see what we get. $20, $21, $22, $23, and this thing is dancing. Room is shaking. $24, $25. Let's try one more. We'll go up to 55 just to see how that, just for bass and giggles, right? That right there was nice. I like that range there. That was good low tone and pretty consistent, good depth, good impact. I can feel it everywhere. Now, again, this is just a synthwave sweep, so no real activity or action. So let's check out the Lord of the Rings movie. Here we go. So yeah, considerably higher, louder volume, probably I would guess more dB. So I was a bit shocked that it didn't perform the way I thought it was going to perform. I kind of had an idea and a good feeling that the Forcefield 4 was going to perform the way it does, because I've had that sub for a long time. I really enjoy it. I like it. I love that sub. And I believe it is their best sub out of the Forcefield subs. When they had the 5, I would still recommend the 4. The 5 was a bit boomy, and the placement needed to be pretty specific if you had that in your room. And so I really like the Forcefield 4. It's easier to manage, and placement can almost go anywhere. Again, the Forcefield subs, I would not recommend putting them in the corner. They can get a little boomy, so they need to be out a little bit more center stage and a little bit more forward, not too close to the wall, even though it is a sealed sub design, but you know, with the passive radiator, if it's in the corner or up against the wall too much, you could get some boominess. So if you got some room, they're great for that. And I do like the Monolith. I love its sturdiness. Now, one thing I did note here, or notice, the rigidity of the cones are quite different, as the Monolith is quite soft. It's firm and strong, but it's still quite soft, versus the Goldenear. That one is a lot thicker. And even if you just listen to, you might not get this on the camera, if you tap on it, the low bass tone that you get from like tapping on a drum, even though this is a bigger box, you're getting the lower sound on the Forcefield. than the Monolith. So I believe that has to do with the design of the drivers as well. So does size really matter? Yes and no. Again, if it's designed right, a small sub can really, really outperform a bigger sub. Okay, so that was some nice low rumble. They both can get down pretty low, as we saw there. And again, I'm just having fun. This is not very scientific. I'm not professional. I'm not using high-end quality tools or measuring devices for that. I'm just doing stuff that you can do at home with your systems as well if you're interested in just trying to find out, hey, where are your peak levels at? How low can you go? How high can you get, right? So these are all the same things that you guys can do at home. So I've really come to love and appreciate that subwoofer, and that is my go-to subwoofer there, is that Forcefield 4. And it's very light. It's not that heavy to move around. Like I said, my Monolith, very heavy, so I have it upstairs in my bedroom. It's going to be staying there for quite a while. Also, one of the other reasons I wanted to do this comparison is because the price point of each one of these subwoofers is pretty much around the same. Now, I can't speak for the new subwoofers that are going to be coming out by Goldenear, or even the ones, the new Monolith ones, because the models that I have right now, they're probably going to be discontinued here soon. If not, maybe by the end of the year or early next year, somewhere around there. But I believe the Forcefield 4 starts out at $799, and I think the Monolith 10 starts out at $599. So you got $800 to $600 here. So I think my winner in this category here is going to be the Goldenear Forcefield 4. Although the Monolith 10 is no chump by any means. Again, it is definitely shakes my house, rumbles the floor and the walls at the right times of the moments too. And it's not boomy. That's the other good thing. So even for a $599, I believe that's what it was, $599 price tag on that sub, you still get a great quality sub. It's got a nice finish, a nice look to it, very stiff and firm cone. I do like the Monolith logo that is on the speaker there, right on the driver. I wish Goldenear had a little bit more picture logo on some of their speakers there instead of just the small one. Let me know what you guys think down there. Do you have any of the Monolith subs? Do you have any of the Goldenear subs? And have you compared them to any other subs? And what did you like about them, or what didn't you like about them? Go ahead and drop that down in the comment. And thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you on the next video.